Hello, everyone. I am just checking to make sure everything is working. So if you can give me a shout out, say hello, maybe a heart, a share, just so I know that it's working. Let's see. I feel like there's a chance that you can't hear me. Let me see. Can you hear me now? I feel like I have to keep talking in order for you to know whether you can hear me or not. Hold on just a second. Can you hear me now? You can you can hear me. Okay. Hi, Jan. Welcome. Okay, maybe it's just me. Now, did I mess it up? Okay. Hopefully I didn't mess that up then. Can you still hear me? All is good? Okay, maybe I did mess it up. Can you hear me now? There's such a delay, so like I have to wait to see if you can hear me or like I'm looking on my phone. And it doesn't look like I can hear myself. Well, okay, I'm gonna and see if you can hear me. Okay, hopefully it looks like it's showing. Oh my gosh, I might have been on the wrong video. Like it's showing. I think we're good. Okay. Oh my gosh, I might have been on the wrong video. I think we're good. Okay. Okay, I think I can hear myself and we are good. I am so sorry about that. I had kind of taken down a lot of my setup for a couple events that I had, and then today was just a crazy day for Claire's birthday. So it says cleanup crew. That's me. And then I have a Lego guy on my back. But anyway, this just gave you guys a few extra minutes to get on, get a drink, and everything else. Happy Friday. I am Laura Burkett with LaurasStampPad, and this is my May 2024 online card class. It is free to watch. There are a couple other options that are available for you guys. There are the card kits that I don't have anymore this month of this set, but I do have pre-cut card kits with all the supplies and everything, so you can just stamp right along with me during the class. And then I also have downloadable tutorials, so it's instant download off of Etsy. So you can go to LaurasStampPad.etsy.com. You can see color photos, measurements, instructions, tips and tricks, and all of that there as well for instant download. So you can always check out my Etsy shop. I have over 2 years worth of tutorials on there, so you can always go through those, find ones that you like. Of course, even if the stamp set is no longer a current Stampin' Up! Stamp set, you can also still use them for the layout, the design, the tips and tricks, and things like that. So they're still super useful to be able to do those card layouts or funky folds or, you know, whatever you want with that. Okay. Hi, Denise. Oh, I'll be sure to let Claire know you said happy birthday. Of course, she keeps saying her birthday is today, but today is actually just the start of the celebration. Her birthday is on Tuesday, but we had her friend birthday party today. We're having the family birthday party next weekend. Actual birthdays in the middle, so it's just going to be a full-on celebration forever. Okay, so let's get started. This is the first card. Oh, let me show you real quick. I am actually using like the entire suite. This country Birdhouse, country flower stamp set suite, the whole 9 yards is just fabulous. And I really thought like, oh, I'll just get this one. It's got greetings, it's got images, I'll love it. And it's got excellent dies that go with everything. And then I really wanted the Birdhouse. So then I ended up getting the Birdhouse too. And like, I mean, you want it all. You really, really do. Excellent greetings, nice scrolly font. You know how I feel about that. A couple things that I wanted to show you about the stamp set is, of course, we have the Birdhouse and then these decorative flowers. There's also the little detail. You could do that as dirt or birdseed or anything like that. Then there's this little detailed flower, which actually fits into the Birdhouse awning there. And then this right here is actually a chain. So you can hang your Birdhouse. And then, of course, there's this wood grain look so that you can make your Birdhouse look woody, or it's a fun background image too. This one, again, there's lots of great dies that go with this one. So you have your like tea kettle and then your milk jug. And then there's also this little line that goes across, which you could put as the top of your milk jug or the top of your tea kettle. And then this little design is super fun to put on the tea kettle or the milk jug as a decoration. And then, of course, all of these. The flower market also goes on both of those. It fits into both of them. So that also works as a little decorative piece, kind of make it a little rusticy looking, that sort of thing. There's also a die for the tea kettle with a little lid that has like a little handle. Oh. Excuse me. Spending a lot of time outside for Claire's birthday party, and oh, it's so windy and there's so much stuff in the air, and I'm just hoping to get through. I'm like, hopefully I don't have like a coughing fit or anything like that, but maybe it'll just be sneezes. So anyway, I'll be using both sets of these with the dies. I'll also be using the 2 different designer series paper packs, which are just stunning. Eyelets, paisleys, just gorgeous. And then I'm also using the embossing folder, the ribbon, the jewels, all of it. Super, super fun. So you've been eyeing this. Well, you're going to fall in love with it tonight, Denise. Let me tell you, it is fabulous. I did this class in person this week, and I was like, oh, so what's everybody's favorite? And no one could pick. They're like, I love them all. I don't know which one's my favorite. So I'm using Petal Pink and Misty Moonlight for this one. And honestly, the ink colors that I'm using, this one uses Petal Pink, but I am using Misty Moonlight, Petal Pink, and Early Espresso. I use Early Espresso on every single card. So stay tuned for that. And it's also nice to know that you don't have to get out like every single ink pad just to be able to create fun cards. So while I use a lot of stamps and dies, I only used 3 ink pads and mostly just 1 ink pad. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and add some of this designer paper on. You can either set it there or you can actually adhere it. But it's got this beautiful pattern, kind of rusticy looking Misty Moonlight, and then it's got dots in that petal pink. So I'm going to be bold and go ahead and adhere this down, I guess. And I actually put that upside down, but that's okay. It'll be okay. And then I'm going to stamp my milk jug. Is that what you guys would call this? Is a milk jug? Like, to me, it looks like an old, like, barn milk jug. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something else. And then we have the flowers. One of the things that I recommend with, like, two-step stamping and making sure your flowers are in your jug and, like, all of that is when you look through your stamp, you actually want to see an overlap. And then you know, like, you're golden. If you think, like, I don't want to see the overlap, I want it to be, like, closer, then you're probably going to end up being too far away. Like, see, I super overlapped over here, but I was, like, kind of right on the line / a little, like, a hair too tall on that side. But yet, it's fine. But I'm just saying, like, whenever you think, like, if I would have thought, oh, no, go a little higher, you're too close, then I would have been super off. And then we're just going to stamp Hello Friend in that Misty Moonlight as well. And then we're going to take that little dotted image and just kind of fill in Petal Pink. So I'm going to add just a few over here. And around. I'm probably going to do too many because that's what I do. I'm not good with random. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I need another one over here. Just kind of hanging off on the edge there. Anytime you do like a background print, you definitely want to make sure that you are falling off the edges. This needs to go upside down too. Because otherwise it's going to look like contained rather than like it's continuous. So you always want to fall off the edge so it looks nice and continuous. And then we'll stamp a few of these on the inside as well as on the envelope. Hi, Linda. How are you? Hopefully we're not getting any of these storms. It was rumbling like, I mean, technically it was rumbling all afternoon. But as I was coming down, I was like, not tonight. No storms on stamp class night. For my OG girls who remember my very first online stamp class in December, who would have thought we'd have a tornado in December? So here is some of that fabulous Petal Pink ribbon. It comes as a pack of Petal Pink and Basic White. And I love Basic White because you can always dye it with your blends or re-inkers or ink pads or anything like that. And then, of course, this Petal Pink is super, super fabulous. It's like, it's still very pliable, but it kind of has like a satin look to it. It also kind of has like a, I don't know, it's not really chevron. It's not really like lines or stripes, but like a diagonal line. And then I added this to the card front with dimensionals. How many of you guys are traveling for the holiday weekend? Going anywhere fun? Technically, Claire was born on Memorial Day, so it's super throwing me off that, like, her birthday is not on Monday, Memorial Day. And I kind of keep forgetting that it's Memorial Day. I don't know. You guys all know how much I love spring and summer, but, like, I feel like it's sneaking up on me and, like, boom, here it is. Today was Claire's last day of school. And it's summertime, and it's Memorial Day weekend, which means it's, like, officially summer, even though it's still not officially summer. So yeah, I just feel like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? I don't know, Laura. You've been waiting for it all winter long. What do you mean, where did it come from? So crazy. So there, I just added a little extra touch to the envelope to pull it all together. And that is card number 1. Hello, friend. Super cute, super easy. A little bit of designer paper, a little bit of stamping, and some ribbon. Nothing too detailed. And that is just the beginning, because it just gets harder from there. Let's see. Which one do we want to do next? How about we do this one? So this one has a super fun fold. So this is what it looks like. Super cute. Pops out. It's a fun Z fold card. And I say Z fold because you can see the letter Z here. But the fact that that birdhouse is centered on the card, how cool is that? Love it. I will also say at my online or at my in-person class, everyone was loving "Hope you have the best day ever." They all stamped that greeting on the inside of every single card. And I mean, I love it. I think it's a great greeting. I was just so surprised that everyone loved it and that they loved it that much. Like, I was super excited and blown away by that. Okay, so we're going to fold our card in half. This is Misty Moonlight. And then we are going to pop back to make that Z fold. So there's our funky looking letter Z. And then we have, which actually I remembered, some of these I accidentally cut bigger. They're supposed to be 2 inches, and some of them I cut at like 2 1/4, and I don't know why. Okay, they're 2 inches now. And this one has that eyelet look in Smoky Slate. And then it kind of just has a like beige rustic stripe, if you will, on the back side. So one of these is going to go on the front here. And then the other one is going to go on the white on the inside. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp that greeting because that greeting is kind of tight. And I want to make sure that this fits. Perfect. That way, if I had to like trim off some of this, I could, but I couldn't really trim off or like omit some of that stamped image. So there we go. Perfect. It was meant to be. It fits there so well. And then this goes on the inside of our card. And you'll see how we have our designer paper on both of those panels. And then I went ahead and stamped my birdhouse. So the birdhouse is a really large image. I don't know. It's way out there if I reach for it. So I stamped my birdhouse. And then I colored it in with light and dark Misty Moonlight. So I kind of did that smaller one in the dark and then the other one in the light. And then I did light and dark Smoky Slate as well. So you could also go black. My husband said that that center hole needed to be really dark. I just went light and dark Smoky Slate. But you could go basic black marker to really make it look dark so that it's, it looks more like a hole. So rather than having you guys watch me color all of that, then I went ahead and colored that in advance. But I am going to stamp these little 3 eyelet pieces on the scallops of the birdhouse. So you can see that it does all the scallops. It doesn't do that top little one, and that's meant to be. It's meant to stay like that, so don't worry there. And then I'm going to stamp happy birthday down there at the bottom. And just a tip, if you happen to get this far and mess up your happy birthday, there is actually a die that goes over that strip. So there's a die here, which we're going to use on one of the next cards. So if you happen to get this far and you're like, I colored, I got it so good, and I messed up my happy birthday greeting, die cut out one of these in Misty Moonlight and stamp it on there and then put it over the top and you'll be golden. Don't worry. So there we have that. Now I can go ahead and add this to my smoky slate. And then I'm actually going to add tear-in tape to this blue flap. So just that folded back flap. Hi, babe. You scared me. I didn't hear you coming down. Oh, careful. Denise says, happy birthday. Say hi, Denise.
Hi, Denise.
Are you tired and ready for bed? Yeah.
I like the stool card.
You like the stool card?
I'm a stool.
Night-night. I love you.
There's a stool game too.
Okay, so I peeled off the tape there, and this is just going to be centered on the front of the card. So I'm looking over here, I'm looking over here. Kind of up and down as well. It should go flush with the top and the bottom, but of course there's always that little that makes it off a little bit. So I have just a hair on both the top and the bottom, but like overall it doesn't really show up. Like you can kind of see it here. If it was a little bit more, if it was uneven and only on the top or the bottom, I probably would trim it off. But the fact that there's a little bit on both, I'm okay with that. Okay. And then I will tell you, in both sets of dies, there are oodles and oodles of gorgeous little flowers. Like, I don't really know which one's in which set, but there are so many fun little flowers. Here's, oh, I already have one of those, I guess. Here's a different one, I think. But so many fun flowers. And the cool thing is there's a whole bunch of dies in both of the sets. So you can easily die cut out a whole bunch of flowers very quickly. Which is awesome because no one wants to sit there and crank through a whole bunch, even though they want the look of a lot of flowers. Oh, there they are. I also want to show you guys the new, it's not new, it's new to me. The new Take Your Pick Crafter's Toolkit has this dental pick. And you guys, it's so amazing for these mini glue dot things that come in all of the kits that I really don't like because they seem to be like a pain. But, like, look how amazing that was and how easy it was. So, I actually did both of these with the mini glue dot. But I did, in my original, I actually popped one of them up with a mini dimensional. And then we also have our birdie, which I stamped on a piece of the designer paper. So I used this paper, and I had some people actually use the light colored side, and then I had people pick wherever they wanted to stamp their bird. So you could kind of go a dark bird, light bird, whatever bird you want. I'm mostly going to do this corner only because it's right on the corner, and I actually really like the lighter look of the bird. And then we will die cut it out. Let me bring in my little mini boss. And I have a small little post-it on here just to help hold it in place so it doesn't move as I crank it through. And because I honestly don't know what all those little post-its are for, but they work really well for this. So, yeah, that's what I use those little tab Post-its for, is holding my dies onto my cardstock. And sometimes I move it around, and sometimes I just leave it right on there. It also makes it easy to find because it's yellow, or pink. Yellow. Oh, geez. Today was just a crazy day. It was one of those days where it's like, and at 5 o'clock, and then at 7 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock, and then at 10 o'clock, and then at 1 o'clock. And it was just, yep, just kept on going. And of course, both kids were up at 5:55. What is up with that, universe? Okay, and then the jewels in this set are these here. Let me flip that over. So there's like shades of silvers and grays, if you will. And you can really use whichever one you want. So I'm going to use one of these big ones for this little spot right here. And then I'm going to use little ones on the centers of my flowers. And then we have that. Of course, where's my envelope? I don't even know where my envelope went. Oh, here it is. And let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this little floral print along the bottom. Oop, that one was a little high. There we go. But that's super cute. So there we have our envelope, our card, and the inside. Super cute. Love the greeting. You can see that there are different colors of the birds. This one's a much darker bird. The other one's a lighter bird, but still looks fabulous. So cute. I love it. So that is card number 2. Again, I feel like we're kind of, taking it up a notch a little bit. Then we will do this one. I guess I should have done the step stool one next since Claire hinted at that step stool. But this one is like kind of what I almost want to say, like a similar like funky fold, Z fold. It's not a Z. And I don't know why. Well, I know why I put that tape there, but it's not going to work for this card as is right there. But it'll be okay. What I was showing was okay, let me show the card. Back it up, Laura. Chill out. Okay, so here's the card. I didn't actually stamp that greeting on the inside, but I will on my sample today. So super fun that it has, again, that designer paper on both sides, but yet it's also on the inside, and still plenty of room to write and have it nice and covered up inside there. So that is awesome. But the one thing that I get asked a lot is, how I make sure I'm adding adhesive not to the entire back of this piece to seal my card closed. So this is how I do it to make sure I have a nice seal or adhesion is I add adhesive, and I'll show you again whenever I actually do it. I add adhesive to the edge of this, so that's going to go here, and then I place it here to know how what my length should be, and then I add it to the edge of that. Now whenever I add this here, I know that there's going to be adhesive on this edge and on this edge. So see, there's adhesive on this edge and on this edge, but yet I'm not going to go over. Sometimes if you put adhesive here and here and then you put it down and you realize it's over, or you put it to make sure that the adhesive sticks and then you realize that it's not centered and there's all that confusion. So again, I put it on the outside here and the outside there, and then I don't have to worry about sealing my card closed or not having enough adhesive or having adhesive hangover. So that is a fun little tip for you guys. So let's go ahead and stamp this fabulous greeting on the inside again. And then we're going to add this beautiful designer paper. I love this pool party wood grain. I don't know. I'm just I could have used it on every single card. This goes all the way to the edge. And I feel like there's a little bit on the edge there, which I could always cut with my scissors, and I do a lot of times, but I also have started using from that tool kit is the X-Acto knife. And I just ran that right along, and look how nice that was. And it didn't even cut into my cardstock here. So super fabulous. I've used that even on whenever I have it on a project, and it works so well. I don't know why I never thought of that before. I don't know why I didn't even know about this tool. I thought whenever I was ordering it, I was like, oh, look at that. And I thought it was actually a new catalog pre-order item. And when I realized it wasn't a pre-order item, I was like, wait, this has been in the catalog and I'm like the last one to know about it? Yep, I am. Okay, then this piece is going to go on the front. And this is where I realized this adhesive isn't really going to work. I'm going to have to redo it. So I'm going to peel that off. Add this on. And then there's just a little bit hanging off there, so I'll have to add another piece of that. So what we'll do is line this up here so that I know where my tear and tape needs to go. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, as the night goes on, stuff starts to get buried. So we go from here to here. And then we peel this one off, and we peel this one off. And then center this. Making sure to adhere here and there. Perfect. Okay, and then I went ahead and I stamped my pot. I used light and dark pool party for the pot. I did dark on the line here, on the line on the spout, on the tip there, on the bottom lines here, and then on the handle. And then I filled in with the light. And then for the actual flowers, I used Granny Apple Green. And again, I did, some of the petals, I did full Granny Apple Green dark. Some I did light. And then I did, random streaks through this big flower down here towards the bottom. And then I used Flirty Flamingo light and dark. And again, I just colored different, like the only one that I did any like actual blending, if you will, is this flower here where I did the center in the dark and then did the rest in the light. But otherwise, I literally just colored this petal is light, this one is dark. And then the centers I did in Daffodil Delight. In mine, I did light Daffodil Delight. And then in this one, I did dark Daffodil Delight. So that's just personal preference. So lucky to know you. We'll stamp in the left-hand corner. And then I also want to add a little bit of Wink of Stella because it's just fun. So I'm just going to add some to the lines of the pot and the centers of my flowers. And a little bit on that greenery too. I will say, like, the majority of the people at class colored that flower. The two outer petals that I did in dark, they actually colored that green, thinking it was leaves, and then just went with it as like the petals, you know, kind of busted open, and then there's still like that green on the edge. So if that happens, don't worry, just go with it. No one will ever know. So now we're going to add this to our card front, and then we're going to add some of those stunning in color resin dots. And where did my take your pick tool go? Oh, there it is. My little bulldozer. And we're just going to add some pretty in pink. Even though I used Flirty Flamingo, these pretty in pink really coordinate very well with that there. Super, super cute. And then for the envelope, we will do the flowers. And you can color them in on your envelope as well. Or you can just leave them alone. So I will do a little bit of coloring. Whoop! This is, my yellows struggle. So there's my dark Daffodil Delight. And here is, let's see, this is light Flirty Flamingo. We're going to do dark first. So I'm just doing like the outer petals. And then we'll do I'm going to use the smaller one, the more pen tip, to get the precision. There we go. I'm not going to do a ton of blending, mostly for the fact that it's an envelope and it's not as thick of cardstock. And then we'll do a little bit of the leaves in this Granny Apple Green. Oh, wait. That is dark. I almost used dark and dark. super gorgeous. I love that. So here we have that Wing Castella, so beautiful. And, oh, that one doesn't have the inside done, so we'll go like this. Super, super cute. This is card number 3. Let me know which one your favorite one is so far. That's 3, 2, and 1. And you'll have to let me know which one you are loving so far. And then we'll get started on, oh, I don't know. I think I'm actually going to do this one before I do the other one. Even though I did it in the other order at the in-person class. But we're going to do this one. But I'm actually going to mix this one up. What color was the pot stamped? It was all stamped in early espresso. Everything on there. The pot was stamped in early espresso, the flowers in early espresso, and the greeting. And the inside greeting as well. So all of it was early espresso. So this one I did. And I did some of the petal pink on the inside. You can see the designer paper has the petal pink. I pulled in, you know, some petal pink and coral. But I had some of the girls at the class asked to use the other side of the designer paper, and I loved their look too. So this is that new basic beige. You are very welcome. And this is the back side of the designer paper. So there's that like petal pink grainy wood, and then this is just dark. And I am going to do this card in the dark just to show you a different look, because I loved it when the girls in my class did it. So you can take the same look and flip it around. Then on the inside, hi Carol, thank you so much. And I'm gonna use Pool Party as my inside piece instead of the petal pink. I actually had both pieces cut already, petal pink and Pool Party, and I let everyone decide on which one they preferred to use. And this also just set the tone for the ones who decided to use the other side of the designer paper. Hello from Connecticut. Well, we have Oregon to Connecticut, coast to coast, and here I am right in the middle with Illinois. Okay, so fun little dies. There's this one that is for the Birdhouse. This is not one of the stamped images, but it is one of the die cuts. Super, super cute. And then I kind of die cut pieces and then tossed them back on my pile. But now I just don't want to dig and end up putting pieces like at the bottom of the pile for that last card. So I have my bird, which I went ahead and I stamped him in early espresso onto basic white. And then I have my Birdhouse I stamped on basic beige and in early espresso ink on basic beige cardstock. And your grandson lives in Oregon. Well, how fabulous! Gian, Carol, meet each other. And then there's this super cute scallop piece. And I'm going to add that to our Birdhouse with some fine tip glue pen. Not my favorite because I tend to overuse it, but it does work perfect for this. This is going to actually go into that line. Remember, let's see, this one. See how there is like a big line, a little line, and then a scallop? This is going to cover up that little line and the scallop. So we have that. And then we also need our bottom piece. Oop, I better put this back on here before I forget, and then it clogs up. Okay, let's see. Did I die cut that other piece? Maybe, maybe not. I think we're just gonna die cut another one. So this is that little piece that I mentioned die cutting for that other card when you mess up on your greeting. By having like a die cut piece, then you can just die cut another one if your greeting messes up, which is kind of nice. Kind of nice to have that like backup. So now we have the bottom of our birdhouse. I almost said bird cage. And then this one says best friend ever, which I'm not sure where that one is. So I'm just going to stamp happy birthday because that one's right up front here. So I'm going to stamp happy birthday on here. Happy birthday. Birthday. I'll stop. And then we are also going to color our bird. I used Calypso Coral Light and Dark, and I also used Pool Party Light and Dark. And there is really no rhyme or reason to how I colored my bird. Goodness gracious. I'm really yanking on my markers tonight, apparently. And then I guess I'll do the beak. The beak and the wings in dark. And then blend that wing with the light. And do the legs. And then the rest of it is in Pool Party. And you can choose light or dark pool party. I went with dark because you guys know me. I like a dark look. I press hard with crayons. That's me. I'm going to be doing craft kits from now until the end of time. Claire loves doing craft kits, and so I let people know that for her birthday party. And they delivered. And that girl, she's going to want to do all those craft kits tomorrow. And I'm going to be like, we have all summer long. We've got to pace ourselves. We'll see how that goes. Tonight we already did half of one of the craft kits of painting magnets. We're just going to do, hoping you have the best day ever on the inside there. And then we're going to start assembling. So actually, I only put adhesive on this down that center line. I didn't actually put any adhesive on the curly cues. And then our birdhouse is actually popped up on dimensionals. But we also have my in-laws coming tomorrow, so that's not for her birthday. They're coming again next weekend for her birthday. Okay, then our little birdhouse is gonna go right here. We'll add our happy birthday there at the bottom. And that kind of covers up that whole bottom panel. And then for our bird, I'm actually just going to add one dimensional, like at the top of the bird. and then kind of like nook him on here. So I didn't want to add more than one because he's like laying over the birdhouse, which is popped up, and then his feet are on the bottom of the birdhouse here, which is also popped up. So I wanted him to be nice and flat. So I just added one dimensional to nook him in that spot there. And then we'll add a little flower in both the Calypso Coral and the Petal Pink. If these paper backs drive you nuts, I'm telling you, you have to get that little dental take your pick tool. It's a game changer. And then we'll add some rhinestones. So I'll add a nice big rhinestone to that center there, and then some smaller rhinestones to the centers of my flowers. Little small, medium, large there. And I actually think I'm going to steal this, since I haven't actually shown you guys the birdhouse. I am going to stamp the birdhouse on the envelope. Kind of takes up quite a bit of the envelope, but that's okay. Super cute. You could always color it in a little bit. You could also add some of these. I would probably add it in either Calypso Coral or Pool Party, but I don't have those ink pads out for this class, so it's fine if you choose not to. But look how the front of the designer paper has that petal pink, and then the back side is just the browns. I will say in the class, the girls that that used the backside didn't use any coral. So they chose some of my blue flowers to go with it, and then they colored the bird all blue as well and didn't do any of the coral. But I love it both ways. Super cute. Super fabulous. And then there's that envelope as well. So let me know, which one do you guys actually prefer? The petal pink or the darker brown? Let me know in the comments which one your favorite one is for card number 4. And then we'll get started on card number 5. And that's the one with the little stool that Claire mentioned. This one actually uses that eyelet embossing folder. How stunning is that? The texture of it is super fabulous, and it is just so, so, so pretty. I love it. So fun. Lots of building on this one. And there's no like special technique to it. It's just put it all together and it will look fabulous no matter what. So here we have our pool party, and then I have pool party again for that embossed piece. And I actually did it as 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 just because I really wanted it to go real close to the edge. You're in Southern Oregon? Is the weather still very rainy? Or am I wrong and I'm thinking more Seattle? Maybe it's not that rainy farther into Oregon. Oh, I will also show you, again, to get that paper off. Look how easy this is. You like literally just grab at it and pull it right off. So again, if you struggle with tear and tape or mini glue dots because it's hard to get that paper back off, you need that take your pick crafter's tool. It is amazing. Leave me a message and or leave me a comment saying I need that tool. Well, maybe that's not the best thing to say, but and I will make sure to get that for you. I'll get you a link for it. Let's see. Did I die cut a circle? Oh, goodness. I guess I did not. But that is why this piece of paper is still here. Now, if I can just find the circle die. That I don't feel like is over here. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Panic attack under control. Okay, so actually I'm going to die cut it on this side. You don't get a ton of rain? Oh, well, that's nice. $70 is pretty much like spot on, perfect weather. The humidity was quite high here with the rain that we got today and like the storms blowing in. But it wasn't that bad. Okay. So I'm going to add this. When I add things with an embossing folder, a lot of times I like to use tear and tape because I feel like it really hits the grooves really well and sort of presses into it. And so like that's why I like to use it on the back side. Also, I find that like my two-sided tape sometimes pulls the cardstock and rips it. So again, I like using it. I feel like it's got good surface coverage and is going to hold really well. Cynthia, you're probably getting the storms that we had at noon today if you're there in Indianapolis. And my friend, she's in Iowa. She got them at like the crack of dawn this morning. At like 4:40, her sirens were going off. Luckily, our sirens didn't go off. We didn't have anything that severe, but yeah, she's okay. Nothing happened. Okay, so for my little step stool, I have the SU 300 and SU 500. I did have one of the girls at the class actually use both of them, and I loved the way it looked. So that is what I'm going to do. Where am I at? I am actually on the Illinois side by St. Louis in Illinois. So I am in Edwardsville. If you've heard of SIUE, that is where I am. One of the things that I will say is I did super lazy coloring for my sample and didn't even realize how lazy it really was until I did the stamp class. I actually stamped my image and then just swipe colored the whole thing. And then die cut it out. And was like, yep, looks good. That was easy. And then it wasn't until I did the class and no one else decided to do that. I think they all probably thought I was crazy, but that I realized how much white actually still shows. So look at my sample. See how it's just all brown? And then see how this one has the white up between each of the legs and all around it? Yeah. So what I did was I stamped it in the early espresso. And then I literally just went like this. And was like, done, colored. And that's how it looks like that. So this time I went ahead and I two-tone colored it and didn't lazy stamp it. So now I'm just gonna add this. I have relatives. I know where Joliet is because I have relatives in Tinley Park. And so we go through Joliet on the way to their house. Okay, so my little step stool is going to go down. Then I used some Smoky Slate cardstock. And the pot. Oh, yeah, I bet people are really going crazy about the weather with the Indy 500 being this weekend. And then there's also that fun little insert. I'm not sure I know where Mount Greenwood is, but I do know where Joliet is. And so just add that right there in the middle. I love it. Okay. Here, while I'm looking at these. So there is the jug. Then this is that little scalloped edge for the birdhouse. This is actually the little teapot lid. Also another image that is in the dies is this one here. It's like a little like woven or I don't know why I call it woven because it's just die cut, but you could die cut it and then emboss it and make it look woven. But this is another like bucket that you can put flowers in. Then there's the 3 flower images. Then this is a 3 flower die. And then this is a, well, there's 2 single leaves and 1 double leaf. But yeah, you guys, the dies, they're fabulous. There's a million of them. And like you need them all. You really just do. Here's some more. I didn't even use all these. I don't really know what the circles are for, but more leaves, more flowers. Here's more of those awning pieces that you could do in multiple tones. I'm not really sure. Is this like a string to hold your birdhouse in the tree maybe? And then like die cuts that match all the stamps and everything. But what I'm looking for is my tea kettle. And there's pretty much all the dies for everything else. The step stool. Oh, nope, that's the bird. Here it is. There's the tea kettle. And then I'm going to steal that Post-it. Oh, wow. That's exciting that he's a firefighter in Tinley Park. So interesting. Such a small world. My mom grew up in Tinley Park, and her sister still lives there. But we used to go up and visit her, my aunt, and my grandpa, or both of my grandparents until they both passed away. But so we go up there, not often, but you know, a few times a year. Okay. And actually the tea kettle, I popped up. That was the only image that I popped up on this entire set. And then I also am going to stamp my greeting. I stamped my greeting second or last, and added it at the end last time. And I really had to like tuck it under there. So I'm definitely going to do it earlier. And you could do banner tips, or you could do just angled. I don't even know where my scissors are. They're buried now. This is what happens. I just get out another pair, and then everything just gets more and more overwhelmed. Okay, so we're gonna add our Sending Love. And then we're gonna add our tea kettle with dimensionals. Ooh, a good perch for the bird. You're right. I love that. Okay. So my tea kettle is going to scooch you over just a little bit because of my Sending Love. Maybe it shouldn't have been so angled, but it'll be fine. Okay, and then there's this big greenery piece, and there's this big flower piece. And then there's all those little greenery pieces. And I'll be honest, I wasn't, whenever I'm like first building a card, then I kind of play with it a little bit and look at it and add to it to see if I like it. But then whenever I like it, I'm like, ooh, I wish there was adhesive already on the back and it was just ready to go. So like I built this whole thing and had it all going and everything. And I was like, oh, I love it. That's how I want it. And then I'm like, now there's all these pieces that need adhesive. So what I did is I actually just took a piece of paper, went like this, flipped it over, and then just started adding a whole bunch of glue dots on the back side. Whenever I told everybody that in class, then I think they all thought that that sounded super tedious, and they were just going to wing it and start building. So that's what I'm going to do tonight, is wing it and start building. So I'm going to kind of interlock those pieces just to kind of have some leaves up front, some leaves in the back, and make it look very greenery-esque. I feel like I'm completely covering up that one flower, but maybe that's okay. Okay, we're just going to start with that. And I might actually add a few mini dimensionals to this. Sort of making sure that they overlap in the spots like with the green and the coral. And then I actually think I'm going to do one big one right there. And then I'm going to stick this down. And then now I'm just going to add in additional flowers. And I think these additional flowers are probably going to be added in just with mini glue dots. I'm going to go ahead and stick a leaf on the back of that one. And the leaves I did in Granny Apple Green. I feel like I'm super concentrating. And this is why I did a lot of coloring in advance, so that there wasn't a lot of silence of me concentrating and you guys just watching me color. And like you can add as many or as few as you wish. I'm going to try to kind of sneak him here in the middle. Oh wait, I need more. No, I do need more petal pink. They always say to decorate in threes, right? So we gotta, there we go. I don't know. I think that looks good. Maybe I won't go any farther. You can always add some of these flowers. You can either stamp them or you can add die cut ones, especially if you die cut like a whole mess of them like I did. Then you can always add some of those to the inside of the card as well as the envelope. Oh, why not? We'll just stamp this same greeting again on the inside. Hope you have the best day ever. And then you can always add some to your envelope. And you could do 1, 2, whatever you'd like. But there is the fifth and final, the fifth and final card. I'm gonna close some ink pads before we get our elbows in them. Like I said, I used mostly, it was early espresso on all of the cards. Oh yes, that works perfect for it. So there is the fifth and final card. Let me know which one your favorite one was. There's 5. Here's the Birdhouse. Let me know if you guys like the petal pink wood grain or the dark wood grain. And then, let's see, I think that was 3. The little Winka Stella. The fun Z fold here. Number 2. And number 1 with that petal pink. I hope you guys enjoyed these wonderful cards. Using both the Birdhouse, Country Birdhouse and Country Flowers stamp set and dies from the Stampin' Up! New annual catalog. If you would like a copy of the new catalog, let me know and I will get one mailed out to you right away. I do have plenty to be able to give out, so no worries about waiting for me to order some more or anything. I can pop one in the mail to you on Monday for sure. You have a deep love to this set. Oh, how wonderful. Well, I hope that this inspired you and got you ready to start playing with it and love it even more. I didn't think I was a birdhouse or bird person until I started making these, and I am in love. I think they are super cute, super fun for so many different occasions. I absolutely love them. So, so fun. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Also, big news, I am doing a BOGO sale on June 4th. So follow me on Facebook, LaurasStampPad. There's also a link in the description, or you're possibly already watching this on Facebook. And I have a group for that. So again, you can always message me and I can get you the link for that, or you can go to my Facebook page and I have a post on it for my BOGO sale on June 4th. It'll be super, super fun. Let your friends know. It'll be selling retired products and it'll be so, so fun. So definitely check that out. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe out there, especially with the weather. Love, hugs, and prayers to all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching.